I like to mention this ever so often because people ask me where the new music came from. It comes from Johnny John's and Derek John's band. I don't know the rest of the members' names. I have to get those and make mention of those guys as well. But the new lead up music comes from them and their band Next Halen, which is the best damn Van Halen cover band of all time. Now, I didn't do a lead up today because I want to get right into this today because it's something that really pisses me off because it's these liberal spastics out there once again forcing their agendas. They don't want us talking about politics and sports together, and yet they want to bring politics into sports. But before we get to all that, I'd like to go ahead and give those famous four horsemen shout-outs of the day. And the four horsemen shout-outs of the day go to Heath Stokes, Keelback First, Sooner, JH Travels, parentheses, John, and Rick Birdwell, Mount Up, Saddle Up, ready to go, and they're going to help us with today's college football invasion. Also, I can be contacted on X at OCF Productions. If you ever have any ideas for the show or want to maybe be on the show, hit me up on there. Now, getting right to it here, I'm going to bring up an article for y'all right now. It's about, I don't usually talk about softball, but, you know, Oklahoma softball is a pretty popular thing. You know, I give a lot of my Oklahoma buddies a little smack talk about it from time to time, but I mean no harm because I do like softball. My team, Alabama's won a national championship, and they did it against Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is the four-time defending national champions. So let me bring up this article real quick, and we'll get into the grill session here. All right, here is the article I was speaking of. Oklahoma softball coach. This comes from Fox News. Oklahoma softball coach defends players who attended Riley Gaines' event. The first thing that jumps out on the page for me, I haven't even read jack shit yet, is the fact that it says that she had to defend them for attending this event. You shouldn't have to defend this to begin with. It's not like they went to a P. Diddy party or attended a session over on Epstein's Island on how to make a perverted island of sorts. It really grabbed my attention right off the bat. It says Oklahoma Sooner softball coach Patty Gasso. Gasso defended her players after some attended an event hosted by women's sports advocate Riley Gaines last week. Gaines has championed fairness in women's sports since Leah Thomas, and that's not his name. His name is not Leah Thomas. So once again, he's got a fake name because he's doing something that's fake and don't exist, just like the Tooth Fairy. Tied with her at an NCAA championship in 2022. That should be a real big black mark on this guy that he had to tie with a woman to actually get on the podium. Because when he swam against real men, he was like 323rd or some shit. Thomas also became the first transgender athlete to win an NCAA women's championship. Since then, current and former female athletes have come together to keep biological males out of women's sports. Let me backtrack and let's let y'all know, Fox, transgender is a made-up word. I like to say that at least once, twice, maybe 55 times a day, just to aggravate those people out there that continue to push this farce. Sooners pitchers Audrey Lowry, Sam Landry were in attendance for Gaines' speech at the Turning Point USA event. According to OU Daily, the women were far from the only Sooners athletes at the event. Gasso told the OU Daily that she did not hear Gaines' praise of her and her team and would not comment. But the fact that our team is there, it's their right, whether they want to go or not. I emphasize their right. She said, I support them in whatever they choose. Peyton McQuillan, a Sooners track athlete, defended Gaines' message in an interview with a student newspaper. She just wants to make sure that everyone has a fair opportunity, and it's clear that she cares. She said it's very easy to relate to. Hallie Bergstrom, a rower for Oklahoma, backed keeping biological males out of girls' and women's sports. She pointed to the biological differences between men and women. Biologically, men have an advantage over women no matter what. So we would just like to keep that simple, but there is no problem against trans people in general. First of all, Haley, you ain't got to apologize for having a problem against something that don't exist. It don't exist. By acknowledging it, You just give these people what they want. And I know it pisses them off, but that shit don't exist, man. There's no such thing as a transgender person. You're born either a man or a woman. Now, you might want to be a woman because you have gay tendencies, and if you're homosexual, that's fine. But own that shit. Don't be a bigot against your own sexuality, because that's all it is. It's just a gay man that can't win at his God-born sport, and he's just a coward, basically. Now back to the article. Gaines did receive pro-trans protest at the school. So what? Let them protest all they want. I'm really disturbed by the sort of panic that I've seen developing over the last couple of years. The suggestion that trans people are dangerous, that they're harming society, and letting trans people participate in everyday life is somehow a risky thing that should be avoided. Librarian Cynthia Teague told the Oklahoman. Now, I don't know if she's actually taking up for trans people here, but if she is and she's actually a woman, you are probably one of the dumbest people that God ever put on earth, because it's absolutely harming people. You got men that are overwhelmingly more athletic. When you put two athletic people on a stand together or in a sport together, a male and a female, the man is going to have an inherent advantage, and he can actually hurt the woman. So, Cynthia, if you're defending that crap, first of all, you're a coward. And second of all, you're basically okay with sanctioned violence against women, because these are men that are beating up on women because they can't compete in their God-given biological sport. So quit defending it and quit apologizing for this crap right here. Humans rights. They can't be a human if it's a made-up word. I'm just saying. And you can't defend rights that they don't have. You don't have the right to just come out and say, hey, I'm a woman, and then everybody just agree with you. If that's the case, then I guess I should be able to just come out and say I'm a dog. And at that point, I should be able to run around naked as long as I grow out a lot of hair and take a crap in the park, butt-ass naked, in front of God and everybody, children, women, men, everybody, right? The NCAA altered its policy to keep biological males out of women's sports. However, women's sports advocates have said the organization has left loopholes in its policy to keep that door open. Well, if that's the case, they're going to feel the bang from Donald Trump, who's already putting the bang on all these Ivy League schools, if y'all haven't heard already. But just to backtrack to Cynthia Teague, whoever she is out there at Oklahoma, y'all really need to protest her and see how she likes it. Because all you're doing, Cynthia, is defending the right of a man to come in and beat on a woman, like I said before. You don't see actual women who are transitioning to be men. You don't ever hear of them trying to compete in the NFL or going into Major League Baseball or competing in the NBA. Why is that? Why is it that women, real women, and transgender women, fake women that are gay men, why do they both get thrown onto the women's sports? Why ain't they being forced to compete in the men's sports? Just saying. You never see a trans woman that's trying to be a man competing in the NFL or the NBA for a reason. You know, so you could take a 50-year-old LeBron James or even a 50-year-old Michael Jordan, or however old Michael Jordan is, a 60-year-old Michael Jordan right now, and you could put him in the WNBA and he'd be a superstar. But you don't see that happen, right? Not yet. I'm waiting for that day. I'm waiting for the day that a dude that's washed up in the NBA to decide, you know what? I can make millions over there too, because they're propping it up and giving them money that they really don't deserve to begin with, because they're not drawing the crowds that they're supposed to in order to make that money. It has nothing to do with sex. It just has all to do with business. And if you make the sales and if you have the attendance, then you get paid as such. But that's all I got to say about that. You guys and gals, tell me in the comment section what you think about all this. Horse manure about Patty Gasso having to defend her players. She shouldn't have had to defend them at all. There shouldn't have to be any apologies for believing what you want to believe. And that's why you liberal spastics meet the resistance that you meet. And this is why people continually fight you, because you try to force your agenda. And to be a liberal spastic to liberal spastics, to turn around on you a little bit, it actually should be illegal for men pretending to be women, competing in women's sports, and physically abusing them. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Also, there's a little heart down here with a money dollar sign in the middle if you want to make a one-time donation to the program. Hit that heart, smash that heart, throw a few dollars in the coffers. KMCA to all the other teams, class is now officially dismissed.